So I actually got into an argument playing soccer recently. It was like a couple weeks ago. It wasn't even all that serious. It was just a decision on the field. But the moment that the person I was arguing with framed my action in a certain way, I can't lie, something shifted in me. Something definitely shifted in me. My breathing changed, my voice got tighter. I started stuttering, and I hate stuttering. But he got me stuttering. And that's when I realized arguments don't escalate because we disagree. They escalate because we feel misrepresented. So a little bit of backstory. I made a play. He didn't like it. Throughout the entire time as well, I may have been going a little bit too hard on the field. It's one of those, if you ever played in one of those happy hour leagues where you just go and play after work and try to win a trophy at the end of the season. It's kind of hard, especially if you played like competitive soccer. You kind of can't switch from that mode, especially if you paid $90 for the league itself. You kind of want to get your money's worth, get your fitness, get what you paid for. And I guess some people on the field didn't like the way I was playing. That's normal. But the way that he described what I did made it sound like I was just a careless person on the field. Almost made me sound like I was a selfish person on the field. And I didn't really feel angry because he disagreed. I felt angry because that simply wasn't my intention at all. I really wasn't trying to win the argument whatsoever in that aspect. I was basically trying to restore the narrative that I'm not out to kill people on the field. But in that moment, I needed him to understand why I did what I did on the field, why I was playing that way. I felt the need to justify myself to him. And here's the uncomfortable part. My body reacted before my mind did. I wasn't calm. I wasn't composed. I for sure was activated though. I was turned. When someone challenges your actions, it's one thing, okay? Just let it happen. But when someone challenges your intention, that's basically them coming after your whole identity. And that's what I felt in that moment. It feels like, that's not who I am. You're misunderstanding me. You're reducing me to some character that's not aligned with who I am whatsoever. And when your identity feels threatened, that's when the nervous system steps in. Your breathing moves from the diaphragm to the chest. Oxygen shortens. Your voice tightens. Clarity drops. That's not weakness. That's your body, your physical body going through defense mode. Your system thinks that it needs time to correct something immediately. But reacting quickly usually makes things worse, I've tended to notice. If you ever stepped into an argument full blast, screaming right away, you tend to realize in that moment, that's not what I'm trying to say at all. My points are not getting through to this person, as I feel like my points aren't getting through to this person. And then as those thoughts are rolling in, you're stuttering. At least that's what I do. I have so many thoughts coming in that I'm starting to overlap my thoughts. I'm stuttering. I'm saying things that don't really make any sense because I have too many things in my mind. What I should have done is taken the time to just breathe, calm myself down right before I went in. But hindsight's 2020. The bigger realization that I made was after the game. I had to think about it. I realized something that made me change how I see arguments. When you really look at it from a bigger picture, a bigger perspective, the person you're arguing with more than likely feels the exact same way you're feeling. He probably felt like I wasn't understanding his point, like how I thought he was understanding mine. He probably felt misrepresented too. And that's the pattern. Most arguments aren't two people trying to dominate. They're two people trying to be understood. And this, I believe, is where arguments actually have value. When handled right, arguments can reveal what someone values, what someone expects, what someone considers fair, and what someone is sensitive about. You don't really uncover that in a polite conversation, talking about this, that, and this. You uncover that under pressure. I like to think of arguments as stress tests for belief systems. You really get to understand who that person is deep down inside when pressure is involved. In my opinion, if you avoid disagreement, you're kind of missing out on that tiny bit of clarity you need to understand a person. So here's the shift that I'm working on slowly but surely. Instead of arguing to feel justified, pause. Not for a long time. Well, actually, I guess it depends on how you feel in that moment and what you're feeling, but definitely pause. Take a breath and ask yourself, what do you think I was trying to do here? I'm sorry, ask the person what did you think I was trying to do there? You know? Most arguments don't need to be a battle of words, a battle of vocals back and forth. It can just be, in my opinion, I just think it's really simple. You guys are both trying to understand why someone did this certain action, why someone feels a certain way. Everyone can have different opinions. That's why we're here. That's why we're all different. We're not meant to literally be the same through and through. I think challenges bring the best out of both parties. Understanding through arguments is honestly one of the, interestingly, if that's even a word, best ways of like revealing who a person is and try to understand other different people. If that even made any sense, I don't even know. But it moves the conversation from combat to clarification. Just from that simple question. So to give you guys more context, the guy told me, you're going too hard on a Tuesday night for a happy hour league. And I told him, sorry that you can't keep up with me. I'm sorry that I want to get my money's worth out of this. You know, I wasn't really sorry, but you know, that's typically my go-to when I argue with people. Oh, sorry you can't do this. Sorry you can't be like me. Sorry you can't. If I just taken the moment to just stop and think about why that person said that, I probably would have realized that he was just trying to understand why I went so hard. But in that moment, I let my body take over and started combating with him for no reason. And then when I combated with him, he probably felt the same way. He probably felt misrepresented and started combating back with me. All it would have taken was just for me to just calm down, assess the situation, figure out he was mad, or I guess confused, or honestly just misinformed about who I am as a person and why I do certain things while playing soccer. Determine whether or not he was owed an explanation. You know, you're not really entitled to give anyone an explanation at the end of the day. And just kept it pushing. I had to give him a response or just don't say anything. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. Choose to give your energy to some things that actually matter. And the way that argument turned into wasn't worth both of our energies, both of our times. Like it was like 10 o'clock at night. We all just wanted to go home. But instead we're arguing, getting our points across. But that just to say, arguing isn't toxic though. Arguing without curiosity is. If you can stay grounded when your identity feels challenged, you don't lose respect. You actually build it. The real reason arguments escalate isn't disagreement, it's misrepresentation. And once you understand that, you stop fighting to win. And you start talking to understand. And I know that's what this world's missing. We need a lot less people fighting to win and a lot more people talking to understand. some food for thought. But if you like what you heard, please share to someone who might benefit from this message. Please make sure to like and subscribe, share this channel, share it to yourself so you can always have a reference to go to whenever you're feeling like you need to argue with someone, but you just want to calm yourself down. Please consider giving this video a thumbs up, maybe even a comment if you're feeling generous right before you do it, so you don't do something you regret. Other than that, develop a project mindset and tackle your problems with everything you got. I believe in you. Take care. Peace.